to Christmas at the Tennessee Residence. I'm First Lady Maria Lee, and I'm so glad you're joining me today as we walk through Tennessee's historic home, all decorated for Christmas. Inside, classic Christmas stories come to life throughout the home as we celebrate the season with this year's theme, A Storybook Christmas. Throughout each room, you'll find a book from which the decorations were inspired, as well as songs that complement the story being told in each room. Bill and I hope your tour of the Tennessee Residence this Christmas will bring joy to you and your family this holiday season. We start the tour here in the foyer where the first Christmas story, the birth of Jesus Christ, is represented. The 11-foot Christmas tree with twinkling lights greets you as you walk through the door. This tree was inspired by how the night sky could have looked when Christ was born over 2,000 years ago. The twinkling lights on the tree mimic the stars that shone in Bethlehem, and the moody colors of the globe and star ornaments help paint the celestial colors of the sky on the night of our Savior's birth. As you look to your left, the Bible is open to Luke chapter 2, which tells the story of the first Christmas, as well as a small nativity depicting the first Christmas. Natural elements of magnolia leaves and other elegant greenery from around the residence grounds can be found throughout the foyer, and the three smaller trees adorned with only an angel and ribbon reflect the simplicity of the night Christ was born. The Christmas story spills over as you exit the foyer onto the portico, where a large Fontanini nativity reminds us of the powerful story of Christ, that he who now reigns in heaven came to earth in a lowly, humble birth. The next room we come to is the dining room, which is inspired by the book Miracle on 34th Street, a story of a young girl named Susan who struggles to believe in Santa and tells him her Christmas wish is to have a home. The table is set to reflect the era in which the story was written, and perhaps what Susan may have been wishing for when envisioning her home. Ribbon with the word believe is laced through the garland on the mantel as red velvet stockings hang in front of the fireplace. The book's central message of believing in the magic of Christmas continues onto the Christmas tree, which is also adorned with images of Santa. Beside the tree is a classic dollhouse representing Susan's Christmas wish. In this room, guests can feel the warmth of a home waiting to welcome family during this special time of year. As you make your way down the hall and enter the drawing room, the classic Christmas book, The Nutcracker, comes to life. The variety of nutcrackers beautifully displayed on the mantel set the tone for the story being told in this room. The story of the Nutcracker begins at the clock, representing the formal party room where Clara receives the Nutcracker doll. As you move to the first street, the main characters of the story are displayed, from the Nutcracker to the Mouse King to Clara to Godfather Drosselmeyer, represented by the top hat and cape. Clara's dream is told through the next three trees, where the Nutcracker leads her through the magical land of the Snow Princess, the Sugar Plum Fairy's Fortress of Sweets, and the Rock Candy Hall. As we close out the story of the Nutcracker, the final tree is a nod to the first ballet adapted from the story in 1892. In the final room of the home, not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse, as you step inside the story of the night before Christmas. This beloved poem has left off the pages and is brought to life in the sunroom through the decor that is sure to make you feel right at home. Stockings are hung by the chimney with care, cookies and treats are set out for Santa, and presents from his pack are carefully placed under the tree. The cozy decorations in this room make it feel as though you are sitting in a living room from Christmases of old, awaiting St. Nicholas's arrival on Christmas Eve. The classic holiday stories being told throughout the residence continue as you enter Conservation Hall. You'll first see an iconic image of Christmas, a vintage sleigh surrounded by simply wrapped packages tied with velvet bows. The large golden ticket stamped with "Believe" marks the beginning of your journey on the Polar Express. On your next stop, you'll come to a hot chocolate tree cascading with ribbons of chocolate, fluffy marshmallows, and large peppermint candy canes, just like the cups of cocoa the children on the Polar Express enjoyed. Making your way into the hall, you'll see it set up to mimic the icy forest the Polar Express traveled through on its way to the North Pole. Here, you can enjoy watching the movie. Looking towards the back of the hall, you'll find that we have once again transformed the atrium into a snow globe. The scene depicted in this year's snow globe is one from the book where Santa greets the children as they arrive on the Polar Express at the North Pole. Santa's sleigh is filled with packages ready to be delivered, and when the clock strikes midnight, he will crack his whip and his reindeer will take off into the air. The elves, who have been working hard all year, stand by blowing horns and cheering him on as he takes off. Bill and I are continuing our tradition of supporting nonprofits and encouraging Tennesseans to give back during the holiday season through a Christmas donation drive. The trees along the outside of the atrium are decorated by 5 nonprofits chosen from across the state that will benefit from this year's donations. Y on the Fly is a program of YMCA of Memphis and the Mid-South that meets children where they are, delivering food, education, physical activity, and more through a mobile Y experience. Street Hope Tennessee serves and protects children in East Tennessee who have been trafficked and sexually exploited. Layman Lessons Ministry is a nonprofit based in Murfreesboro that seeks to relieve the human suffering of the homeless and needy in our state. Youth Villages is located in Memphis and serves children with emotional and behavioral problems along with their families, as well as young adults who are aging out of state services. Second Harvest Food Bank of Northeast Tennessee secures and distributes food to 8 counties in Northeast Tennessee and engages the community in the fight to end hunger. As you reflect on the blessings in your life this season, we encourage you to find a way to give back. By donating items, your time, or resources, you can make a difference in your community and in our state this Christmas. Bill and I hope you've enjoyed your time at the Tennessee Residence. We wish you and your loved ones a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.